Oh goodness. This is one of the original songs of the game. This song doesn't appear in the movie, but really fantastic composition here. It's definitely one of the DOSy sounding. In easy mode, those fish don't, with the fez, don't even show up.
Yeah, I guess I haven't played... Like, I've played Doom. That's kind of the only DOS game I've played.
A lot of this music sounds like it has that quality to it. The Gems driver can do that a lot.
You know what? I actually have played like 10 minutes of Duke Nukem 1 and 2, so I guess I have played a couple DOS games. Oops. That PC over there is actually, full DOS support and all that.
Yeah, 1990. He has a Windows 98 rig. Like,
yeah.
Who else has a game room this fantastic? I haven't seen Mikey in 5 years, and he's really look at this footage of the game we're playing. This is authentic hardware.
Yeah. So now I get to tell my story about how my journey getting acceptable Genesis footage. Okay, so here's the thing. Genesis is by default, they do output RGB. You can get a SCART cable and plug them in and they will work. But like a lot of old consoles, even though they support RGB natively, the RGB isn't very good RGB. It's not like digital where you can have crappy, shitty cables and it will still look perfect because it's digital. This is analog. So the components involved matter a whole lot in terms of the noise in the picture, jail bars, and then there's the fact of the sound as well, with because only the original Genesis Model 1, which has like a special port in the back or something, right? That's how you tell the difference.
Yeah, it has one of those cable hookups that I've never seen anything support or use, but
yeah, and that's how you tell because it's like you can't just get a Model 1. You have to get a Model 1 that says high definition on it.
Yeah, that one.
And you have to make sure it has the extra port in the back, and that's how you know you got the one with the good sound. Because every other Genesis console by default has terrible sound.
Yeah,
like it's like the quality, it's like it's being played through like a low pass filter or something. So like a bunch of the frequencies are missing.
I know. So one time I tested the sound and I could really tell.
Yeah.
So I only play it on my Cadillac of consoles, if you will. They took a liberty with that boss here. That doesn't show up anywhere in the movie, but
yeah,
it fits.
I like how he's doing like a fist pump thing.
Yeah, I know.
So long story short, I probably bought about 3 or 4 Genesis consoles within the past 5 years since Ethan and I graduated college. And it's been that long since Mavericks was discontinued. I mean,
we just took... What are you talking about? We're here right now.
Yeah, so I bought all those consoles, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to... If I want to get halfway decent gameplay footage from the Genesis, because eventually I want to redo those shitty Sonic videos and have, like, good real footage from real hardware. Because I did actually record Sonic CD authentically for that video.
Are you talking about your own personal reviews?
Yeah, my own personal reviews. The cat's messing around. It's
I was
fine.
just about to say, it sounded like the cat knocked over the fridge.
If it was the fridge, it would sound like the doorway to hell opened up down there.
Oh, I got another bonus stage, except I've never beaten either of them.
Yeah, so I want to redo all of those. Original Sonic CD review had, I think that was actually the moment I realized how bad composite really was.
This is stupid. Sorry. It's impossible to get that. So the apples are supposed to drop where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to have safety, except I have 99 apples, so I can't carry them.
Infidels! You have touched the forbidden treasure! Now you visit us often!
But I don't have any apples, so I have full apples, so it wouldn't drop any. So I didn't know where the safe place to stand was. Anyway, continue.
It's like the first couple of years I had my channel, which was I started 2013, 2014. I had just turned 18 at the time. So I didn't do it while I was in high school like Jay did. Yeah, and the first couple of videos I did everything with composite because I didn't know any better at the time. And so I would record these games, like, and then I will look back at footage of them, and there's, like, obvious comb teeth and shit that drives me nuts now that I'm older.
Yeah.
And it's, like, the first time I even noticed that composite was bad. I remember you lent me your Genesis and your Sega CD and your copy of Sonic CD so I could record it for the review. And that's the footage I used of the original. Whereas the other ones I used, like, I think Wii Virtual Console footage. And that was the first moment where I noticed how bad composite was. Because it's like, there's rainbow artifacting, there's, you know, like, interlaced... Because it's like, even though the games are 240p, the card and everything else treats it as if it's 480i, so it does de-interlace shit to it. It's terrible. So that started a very long personal journey of me trying to improve my footage that I'm still going on to this day. So eventually, after I graduate, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a FrameMeister. I'm going to get all my consoles.
Is this plugged into a FrameMeister?
No, it's using the OSSC, which is better.
This is the best level on the stage, by the way.
The best level in the stage?
God damn it. This is the best level in the game. This level's awesome. Like, this gets me pumped up. Oh, I can't even collect the apples. These are supposed to be apple slices, but I'm filled on apples, so...
Well,
basically,
can
this
you
level...
throw them?
No, I can't throw them. Those are apple slices, so, every 4 slices, you get another apple. But it's supposed to try to guide you kind of where the...
breadcrumbs, that's the level design term.
Yep. But basically, watch how slow it starts off, and then it just gets faster and faster and faster. And then that wave gets closer and closer to really ramp up the pressure. Like, this is they really outdid themselves here. The Super Nintendo version has a different one where it also has a rug ride level. It actually has 2 rug ride levels, but I personally like this one better because of how frantic and chaotic it is. I like chaos. But continue your story, Michael, while I'm frantically... I have to focus here.
So, after I graduated college, I'm like, okay, now that I'm not at undisclosed university in Minnesota anymore, and I don't have to constantly ship crap back and forth, I'm going to start recording authentically. I'm going to buy all these consoles, then I'm going to buy cables, then I'm going to buy a $300 scaler, and then I figured out, oh wait, the native RGB supported by some of these consoles is dog shit. I'm going to have to mod them with a special board that bypasses the original circuitry. It has cleaner video, and like a THS amp and stuff.
Shit.
So that's a long can of worms in itself. But Genesis, specifically, took me a really long fucking time to get good footage from. Probably the whole 5 years since we've left. Okay, so like I said, bought 3 or 4 different consoles. They all look, I don't know, relatively like it's various. Like some Genesises have less jail bars than others. Some have like better like noise than others, but none of them are good enough for me on their own. Because it's like, you know, by default you get terrible jail bars, and then that was the problem on its own. So I'm like, okay, I'll get a triple bypass, which is a special chip, I think, made by Insurrection Industries, that site, which bypasses the original RGB circuitry and the sound circuitry. So you can get a Genesis Model 2 or Model 3, put one of those things in there, and it will get you RGB.
Why would you want a Model 3? One's so ugly.
Well, I mean, I obviously have a Model 2, so it doesn't matter. And you can get the same quality of audio that you would get in a original Model 1, as well as much better RGB regardless. Oh, okay, that would be shitty if you got killed by that, and it's like, I don't know which wire it's gonna be.
It's down every time.
Okay. But you're not going to know that the first time you play. It's a small
bit of trial and error, because that happens. This game doesn't really do trial and error, but that's one of the only sections it does.
Yeah, so I got the triple bypass. I got an installer to install it for me. And the thing about installers is they have families and they have day jobs, which is, you know, fine. but it means that whenever I have to ship a console off to get a mod done, because I used to try to do that shit by myself.
In the last instant before freedom, the mouth of the cave of the Wanderer collapses, trapping the Aladdin and the Abu inside. When the Aladdin inspects the prize, he is suddenly swept into the strange world within the lamp.
Come on, the cheat. Let's go spike Strongsad's drink.
This is a tough level, but basically, Mikey does all this and doesn't produce videos anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's part of why, but it's the reason I haven't reviewed a Genesis game in the past 5 years, specifically. But it's like, installers, they have lives, and it takes them a while to get the mods done sometimes. For example, I just sent off my PC Engine Duo to get RGB modded and to get the capacitors replaced.
And it has a wait time of approximately 730 days.
Well, what the installer told me beforehand was 3 weeks, but it's already been 3 weeks. and I have heard nothing. I like this back here. There's a TV and a Genesis. Well, it's all over the place, but this is the easiest place to see it. So I send it off, it gets the triple bypass in it, I'm like, oh boy, I can't wait to see what my Genesis looks like on my PVM. So I plug it in, I turn it on, and I put in Monster World 4, my reproduction cartridge, because I've heard that's like one of the best games on the Genesis.
And it doesn't work!
Well, it works, like there's video, but there's like interference patterns all over the place, and I can still see the jail bars, and I'm like, what the fuck? I thought the triple bypass was supposed to fix that, or at least lessen the effect of it. Diminish the effect of it. And it didn't, so it's like, okay. And then meanwhile, I have class going on, I have other reviews and shit that I'm doing. It's fine.
What the hell is that?
She does that.
It sounds like she knocked over the fridge. It sounds like she caved in the ceilings.
So basically, it's like, I don't know what's wrong with the console. I ship it back to the guy, and he's like, okay, I'll check my mod job and see if there's anything wrong. And then And then he kept telling me, like, yeah, it looks fine to me on my screen. And I'm like, okay, but
you shipped it back to him and everything?
Yeah, well, he offered to do it for free, so...
Oh.
When he found out that there was a problem. And then, so he looked at it, we couldn't figure out what the problem was, and then I'm like, okay, maybe I need to replace the capacitors, because the capacitors are really critical for the analog video to be within the correct tolerances and everything, so that it looks consistent, and you don't get as much noise. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll get the capacitors replaced, and that'll fix the image. So I do that, I send it to the same guy, he installs the capacitors, it's the console you're seeing right now. I pop in Monster World 4 again, being like, oh boy, I can't wait to see what it looks like. Same interference patterns all over the fucking screen. And I'm like, what the fuck? I bypassed the original RGB circuitry, I got the capacitors replaced. What the fuck more do you want from me, Genesis? No other console has given me that much trouble. Not the NES, not the SNES. The PlayStation has great RGB out of the box, so I didn't even have to do anything with that. Even the N64 is a close second, though. That's a story for another day.
I pressed the jump button. This stretch right here is really difficult.
So, in the end, Ethan, take a guess what the problem was.
You had the wrong AC adapter.
Yes. So, as it turns out, even the original electronic manufacturer, Sega brand AC adapters for the Genesis, have a whole ton of interference and noise in them. So, what I ended up having to do, and I'm gonna thank My Life in Gaming for this, because I was complaining about this on Twitter, and they were like, hey, have you tried using a PS2 Slim power adapter for your console? And I'm like, oh, would that even work? So I drove all the way up.
They pulled 9 volts?
Yeah, apparently it's compatible. It's what we're using right now.
Oh, fucking...
So I drive up north to Marysville, and I get myself a PS2 Slim power adapter. I plug it in, and to my surprise, not only does the console boot, but almost all of the interference is gone. And it's like, you know... So after 5 years, we can finally record authentic RGB SCART's Genesis footage.
Remember when we tried to do our Streets of Rage retrospect and
Oh, God.
we plugged it in for the first time and didn't realize that it was going to look terrible? And then, like, all the colors were completely ruined, like, unusable.
Yeah. It's been a long road, folks. Don't make the same mistake I did. Just record it off an emulator, and then you won't have to worry about any of this shit. You'll save yourself a ton of money, and you won't be as... You'll actually upload more.
Then Mikey. You could be like Ethan. I have not made a video in like 4 years. No, actually, I released a video last fall.
Was that the one with the goat?
No, that one was 4 years ago. No, I released a video of my dad's dog barking at nothing.
I don't want you releasing videos of my family.
Oh my God, no, not that one. Free from the magic lamp, the genie helps Aladdin escape the Cave of the Wonders.
The Cave of the Wonders.
With the lamp in his possession, Aladdin races back to the palace of Agrabah to help Princess Jasmine. We're not feeling as high-octane action today as we were last night.
Part of the problem is Ethan is at my place. He is visiting me in Washington from his home in Minnesota, where we both went to college.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And obviously we haven't seen each other in person in 5 years. It's been since we graduated, since we made that farewell video, where we photoshopped our faces on the marathon runners.
And then you forgot to include the picture of us in our actual.
I did?
Yeah, you didn't include the photos of us in our caps and gowns.
Oh, I think I might have released the video before that. I don't remember.
No,
this was
after.
Years ago.
It was after, and I was like, God damn it. God damn it! This level's tricky.
Yeah, so Ethan's staying at my place for a few days.
I decided I needed a little escape from work for a while.
And he wanted to see his good pal Mikey.
Seriously, more time has elapsed since we have seen each other than the time we spent at college.
Yeah,
which was like a touch over 3.5 years technically.
Ethan got a job, and then I went back to school for another undergrad degree in game design. That's what I've been doing. That's why I never upload, because the video game design school I go to, we are very busy. I'll just leave it at that. It's way busier than the school that Ethan and I went to. And the worst part is that the poor 18-year-old kids who straight out of high school that I go to the school with don't even know that they have it so much harder than they would at a traditional university.
Check this out. This is they include so many scenes from the movie. Like, this is the Sultan's.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like they include this. Like, they built that asset just for this one single spot. Like, the attention to detail in this game is fantastic.
Yeah. Because it's like you kind of alluded to earlier, in gameplay terms, this is a pretty standard hack and slash side scroller. With like a live system, jumping, some climbing mechanics as well. But what kind of elevates it is the attention to detail and the feedback, the animations, the sound, the presentation.
Really good to play.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff makes the complete difference between, like, a standard ass side scroller and something that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and we're not saying the Super Nintendo version is a standard ass side scroller either, because that's also a good game.
I have literally, the only thing that I've seen it in is the Irate Gamer review.
Like I said, I have that game. I think you would enjoy it quite a fair bit. Let's see. I can't. I have to concentrate here for a sec. I can't get hit one more time. Oh, I only have 41 gems. Yeah, I'm pretty good at this game.
Yeah, I probably would have game overed and had to restart by now, and it would piss me off. I still don't like limited continues. I think it's a cheap way to.
Fuck! That was bad enemy placement right there.
Yeah, I mean,
Luckily, I'm pretty close to that point.